Okay, this is your quick video on dimensional change, but first I want to go over your daily Darth Vader. Remember, greatest rate of change. This just means slope. Okay, all of this just means slope. Okay, how to remember how to find slope when you have 2 points. Remember, it is change of y over change of x, which means you have to subtract x and y. So this is your x, this is your y, this is your x, this is your y. And so you're going to have to subtract them. 3 minus 11 over 1 minus 5. Okay? You're going to do that for each one of them and then figure out your answer. I wasn't here for that extra hint, so this is what you need to do. You need to do it to all of them. So this was for A. For B, you would have to do the same thing. 4 minus 7, or negative 1 minus 1. And you're trying to find the largest number. Okay? So that's all you have to do for each letter. Okay? So that I want you to do first. If you didn't know how to do it, this is your reminder, your hint, and we'll grade it tomorrow. Okay. Now, you need to get out your notes from yesterday. You should have all both glued it in. I just told y'all to write this part down so far, and that is correct. Okay. Now, whether you have this blank piece of paper or not, I'm going to write on it on this blank page. So if you don't have, you're going to have to keep flipping back and forth, which is fine. Okay? Because we talked about scale factor, and we know it has to do with multiplication. It has to do with getting your figures bigger or smaller. We actually did some hands-on of what does it look like when it doubles, or what does it look like when you half it, and the dimensional changes. We already made the prediction that it's the scale factor for perimeter. It didn't change. When you looked at your paper that we did, notice the scale factor for perimeter stays the same, but it squares for area. That should make sense because area is in a squared unit. Alright, so these are the kind of things I want you to write down. Alright, perimeter, I want you just to write unit. It is just the same unit. It is the same unit. And this is going to be units squared. Okay, those are two things you need to keep in mind. Alright, when you're dealing with dimensional change, you always have to know the new over the original, or its new shape over the original. Now, we have given these different names. Original stayed original. It's the first shape. But new, we've been calling the image, okay, or the one with the prime on it, okay, and this was the original or the first one, okay. Alright, so the image is the new, and when you find scale factor, when you're talking about dimensional change, it is always new over the original. And when I said over, what operation would that be? It would be divide, correct? So, looking back at our old one, this was the original, this is the new. So it would have been 20 over 10, or divide, and when you divided them, you can do it in your calculator and you'll get 2. Ha, your scale factor, okay? Now, this is how you find scale factor. Alright, is you always take the new over the old. Now, whether you square it or not depends on what you're dealing with. So let's go back here to perimeter. You open up your little shutter. I want you to write yourself a hint that it is always new over original. Okay? So new over original. And so you're going to, when you're dealing with perimeter, sorry, new over original, you're going to have your figure, and I'm just going to make up an example. We're going to say that this one has a perimeter of 15 centimeters. Okay? And that this one has a this was the original, and this has a perimeter of 5 centimeters. Okay, these are perimeters. E equals P. Okay, and this is the new one. All right, so it needs to go new over old. So 5 over 15. You're going to 5 over 15, you're going to put that into your calculator and simplify. How you do that is you go 5 over 15, get my calculator out. You're going to second math, 5 over 15, press enter, and it simplifies it to 1/3. So the scale factor of this change is 1/3. So the scale factor, and I'm just simplifying, is 1/3 of the dimensional change. This works. Remember when we did dilations, coming back to dilations we had to be given the scale factor. Well, if we're not given the scale factor but we're given a dimension, this is what we have to do. Okay, it's all the same stuff, it's just applying it. It's what did they give us, okay? Did they give us the scale factor or not? If they're asking for the scale factor, they have to give us 2 dimensions. If they gave us scale factor, we have to multiply it by each coordinate. It's all how it works out. Now, so you have to memorize this new over original. You can't forget that, because that is how you find the scale factor. Now, I'm going to throw a bit of a hink in it, is when you have area, okay? Again, it is still new over original. Alright, I'm going to say that this one has a area of 12 centimeters squared. And that this one we're going to say has a area of 48 centimeters squared. Okay? So, again, this is the original, this is the new. So it's new over original. So it's 48 over the 12. You put that in your calculator, 48 divided by 12, and you get 4. Now, you get 4, but is that your scale factor? Not necessarily, because for this to work, you have to have, for area, is it has to be squared. Okay, so if we're working backwards, you have to find the square root of this, so the scale factor is going to be 2. Because this has doubled in size, but when you're multiplying by a scale factor, it is scale factor squared. So to work backwards to it, you have to find the square root of 4. Okay, I know this is very confusing. I will clarify and I will make this a little bit better. But for time's sake, we're just going to have these notes written down, and I will help you. Now, the page I will hand you is going to look like this, and it says accessing dimensional change. Okay, what I want you to do, I'm going to work the first one with you, and I really just want you to get through the first side. I think you're quite capable of it. So first you have to find the perimeter of this first shape. Alright, because it says original perimeter. So this is the original figure, you have to find the perimeter. So how you find perimeters, you add all the sides. So 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3. You can use your calculator. 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3. And you get 18 units. Okay? Now, how did 6 become 12? Looking at this, how did 6 become 12? Well, times 2. So the scale factor is 2. So if I'm looking for the new perimeter, I don't know one of these. I can't just add all the sides. I can't. So I'm going to have to take my original of 18 times 2. Multiply, and I get 36. Now, you're going to go, oh yeah, that was easy. But, how did I get this scale factor of 2? New over original. 12 divided by 6. You put 12 divided by 6, your answer is 2. That is how I got that. So let's try this one down here. Okay, I jumped to number 3. Okay, it's given me my perimeter already. I didn't have to find it. It's already there. But I have to find scale factor. I have to go new over original. So 12 over 24 equals my scale factor of 1/2. So my scale factor is 1/2. And again, I have to multiply my perimeter times 1/2 times 72, and my answer is 36 units. Yes, I'm aware my answers are the same, guys. I'm aware. Alright, so I want you to finish this page. If you're really ambitious and you're real speedy, you can start working on this side. But remember, you're going to have to square it. So for this one, it's still going to be 6 plus 6, or excuse me, we're dealing with area. Sorry. You have to do 6 times 3, because that is the formula, base times height. 6 times 3 is 18 units squared. Still, it is 12 over 6, because it is, you have to pick a side, and it is going to be new over original. And you get 12 divided by 6, and you get 2. Now, it's 2 squared, because it is a square unit. So, essentially, you're going to have to do 18, which is your original area, times 2 squared. That's not that hard. You just put it in your calculator that way. 18 times 2 squared, and your answer is 72 units squared. But, guys, if you haven't gotten to the area side, that's fine. I want you to have this side done, and you can watch this video as many times as you want to review how it is. I work on this starting about minute 10. So if you just need to go rewind it back to minute 10 and rewatch this part, that's what you need to do. Okay, you do need to listen to me. Have your headphones. All right, bye.